And so one September day he arrived, Lord Saul, a tall, slender youth of 16 with pale skin and straight black hair. Now, the entire household was waiting outside to greet him as his carriage pulled up. But the first thing he did upon getting out was to go and talk to the postboy, give him some money, pat the horse's neck. Now, it's possible, I suppose, that he made some sudden movement that inadvertently frightened the beast. At any rate, there was very nearly a nasty accident, because the horse shied violently, the postilion was thrown, the carriage lost some of its paintwork on the gateposts, and the wheel ran over the foot of young Simpkins, the sexton's lad, who was taking down the baggage. Well, when he mounted the steps to be greeted by Dr. Ashton, Saul expressed proper anxiety for the men who'd been hurt, but he took the accident and the commotion calmly enough. He had a smooth, rather pleasant voice, without, curiously, any trace in it of the Irish brogue. Now, Frank Siddle was a good 5 years younger than Lord Saul, but the young lord did not for that reject his company. No, Frank was able to teach him many games that he'd not known in Ireland, and he was apt at learning them. He was apt, too, at his studies, although he'd had little formal education up until that point. He was soon making a really good shift at deciphering the inscriptions on the tombstones in the churchyard, and he'd often asked Dr. Ashton a question about the old books in the library that it took some real thought to answer. Well, one cold winter's night, Mrs. Ashton's prized black cockerel, a much-loved pet, was done away with by some nocturnal creature, a fox or a cat, Dr. Ashton's not sure which. In fact, I should probably explain here that it is from Dr. Ashton's own diaries that I've gleaned much of the detail for this part of the story. Now, he really was the most extraordinary fowl. By the sounds of it, this cockerel, he was very big and strong, with an exceedingly confident bearing, and without a single white feather upon his entire body. They called him Hannibal, and Dr. Ashton had joked on more than one occasion that he would make a very suitable sacrifice for Asclepius, a jest that had quite failed to amuse Mrs. Ashton, who was, as I say, much attached to the bird. On the morning when he was found to have gone missing, the poor woman was scarcely to be consoled. Now, Frank and Saul were tasked with finding out what had happened to Hannibal, but the only clues that they could discover were some feathers, some flawlessly black feathers. Saul found these on the rubbish heap in the corner of the garden. They appeared to have been partially burned. Well, later that same day, Dr. Ashton was in his study looking out of the window when he saw the lads playing in a corner of the garden at a game that he didn't fully understand.